If this is really the Switch 2's secret gimmick, I don't know what to think. If this is really where Nintendo has invested their energy, I'm so curious how it will change the games that we've come to know and love. So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. It's not just about Switch 2 leaks, though. We also have a big game that we all thought was coming to Switch that got canned and is now probably going to actually make it out on Switch. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you enjoyed these videos. If you're new here, this is the best place for Nintendo news in about 10 minutes flat. If you're old here, thanks for being here. Also, man, oh man, you're not as old as you think. I'm 34. Don't feel 34. But I do feel like it's time for Switch 2. Everything has been rumbling. The witch's stew has been brewing, and I feel like those bubbles are about to elicit some incredible results. But first, let's talk about HiFi Rush. HiFi Rush is a fantastic game that did amazing on Xbox, and then they killed Tango Gameworks. The studio that made HiFi Rush a super success was shut down by Microsoft while they had a Switch version in development. And although the game was never confirmed for Switch, there was a Switch t-shirt in the game, so we know that it was supposed to come to Switch. It came to PlayStation, it's on PC, it was going to come to Switch, and then those plans were eviscerated when Microsoft decided to take them out. Thankfully, Krafton is back buying Tango Gameworks, swooping in and saving the day. If you don't know, Krafton are the folks behind PUBG. They put out Callisto Protocol. They make other games as well. And now they're going to be in charge of not only Tango Gameworks, but the HiFi Rush IP, which means they've got free reign to release this thing on Switch. And I think they should do it later this year. Now, there's a chance that they wait for Switch 2, so like they get a big bump, but honestly, I think this fall is quite quiet when it comes to third parties on Switch. It's a great time to release a big game. If you do it towards the launch of Switch 2, like you're competing against so many heavy hitters. You got like tall guy Mario, huge guy Metroid Prime, huge guy over here of Assassin's Creed. Like there's going to be so many giant games that you're going up against. I think if you look at that versus this fall, it would be a sweet time. Regardless, such good news that this studio that did stupendous and did deliver a new IP that was super good is actually being rewarded instead of absolutely punished. So good news for the game industry, good news for Switch fans, and good news for the HiFi Rush port that should now actually release on Switch after it seemed like it was dead in the water. What's the one thing you don't want to do if you're Nintendo Switch 2? Be like the Wii U. The Wii U was the successor to the Wii, a very, very fruitful system that not as good as the Switch and didn't have the longevity of the Switch in terms of sales consistency, but like basically Wii was successful, Wii U was not. So they want the Switch 2 to not be the Wii U, but apparently, according to some documents and leaks, Nintendo might be actually making the Switch 2 the Wii U 2. Yes, I'm serious. This isn't a bit. This isn't a joke. The rumor is that Nintendo's gimmick for the next Switch is some sort of streaming from the system to the dock and the TV. Now, this sounds bonkers to me, and I gotta know your take, because we're not talking about streaming like, oh, it's streaming from the dock to the Switch, because obviously the Switch is already portable. We're talking about streaming connectivity to the dock so that the Switch could be like another screen while you play on the TV. Where have we heard that before? Oh, we've actually done it before on the Wii U. Now, don't get me wrong. The Wii U's Gamepad was actually phenomenal. I think that was the brilliant idea buried beneath all the other muck that just made the Wii U unsuccessful. But the Gamepad had some really cool uses. I remember playing Zombie U and loving it for my backpack. Playing Mario 3D World and getting to touch the platforms was quite cool. You got to like blow in there and raise them with your air breath. It was a fun time. And it actually ended up leading to the Nintendo Switch as a portable console with a screen that could also dock. So what kind of crazy world would it be where Nintendo brings back this functionality as the gimmick for the Switch 2? Now, I'm all for innovation, I'm all for fun new things, and as long as the Nintendo Switch 2 can still be portable and can still be docked, whatever. Add in this new mode if you decide to do so. I don't care. Do as you please. What confuses me, though, is how does this apply to an actual game scenario? Because remember, the reason that it worked cool on Wii U is because there was no portable version of the Wii U. Like, having the screen on the controller was because you were always connected to the TV. So if this is optional, then what functionality is removed when you decide to take your Switch 2 on the go? Remember, games have to be both portable and home console. I don't buy this world where like, oh, it's only going to be a dock game and not a portable game. So then whatever functionality you're adding with this streaming controller is not all that necessary because it has to be able to be removed for portable play. Now you might be wondering, why are they even thinking this? Where is this coming from? Well, it's coming from a couple of sources. It's coming from the shipping manifestos that are showcasing new fans, and they think that these fans, as we discussed before, could be used for fast charging. These fans could be used to cool the system while it's in the dock. And so with all the hubbub around increased dock power and increased dock functionality, it has popped up that some people have heard that the freaking new thing about the Switch 2 is this streamable option where you can slide your Switch into the role of Wii U Gamepad, which would Nintendo dare? Would they dare go full circle on an idea that was clever, but ended up cannibalizing sales of a Nintendo home console unlike ever before? Was it the Wii U Gamepad's fault itself? No, I'm being a bit facetious there, but this was a system that did not work. Third-party support, sales, etc. It just was a bomb. So while I think the gameplay implications and idea is strong, A, I don't know how you do this now when you have to also be portable, and B, does Nintendo really want all these articles to be written and all of these jokes to be made that like, oh, the Switch 2 is just bringing back the Wii U? I feel like that would be a really hard pill for them to swallow, and it would be something that they would heavily want to avoid. But more than any like feelings or, oh, is this gonna be, we're gonna be the butt of a joke, it's like, how does this make gameplay better? I truly feel that Nintendo is all about mechanics and ensuring that those are improved. The things that they've done, from motion control to a gamepad to IR sensors, it's all about improving the experience of games and how you interact with them. What does this do for games that has not been done already? And then removing that when you go portable, I just don't see how that is actually a progressive step for Nintendo. It feels like it's quite restrictive and would be the kind of thing that would get Nintendo into a bind versus more of the ideas lately that have been a bit simpler but fully executed. Like, hey, what if the system was a hybrid? Boom, easy idea, great concept, works super well and can be taken very far. Now I see one of you in the back shouting that, hey, Nintendo has already kind of done this split functionality where there's certain games that could not be played on the Switch Lite. And I agree that that is the case, but I don't think the way you want to start your Switch 2 console lifecycle is by saying, hey, all of these games are not going to work in all the different modes because some have like this streaming second screen and some don't. I think it creates insane market confusion, and I think it really does limit the simplistic conveyance of the message of the Switch. Play Mario on your screen at home, play Mario on your screen on the go. Play Zelda on your TV at home, play Zelda on your Switch 2 on the go. By adding in this streaming option, it seems to just messy up the waters and make it like, okay, so wait, can I actually take it portable or is it just streamable? So I, for one, am kind of hoping that this is not the gimmick, and I kind of feel like it isn't the gimmick. I think the fans are more likely to be used for fast charging and to keep the system cool if the dock is going to be upping the ante when it comes to TV play and how the system performs in that mode. But goodness gracious, if Nintendo decides to go this route, I better hope that they have a really... But goodness gracious, if Nintendo does decide to go this route, ballsy. Ballsy to take the Wii U and try to flip it on its head from a complete failure to a huge success. And if somebody in the company is just in love with the idea of a second screen for the same game, maybe they shouldn't have stopped making the 3DS. Now at this point, they can't do that, so is this their weird way of like, we've got a dual screen system? Or maybe the Switch 2 just has two screens always, and then you can dock and play, or you can just play. Think of that? How about that? Now that's an idea I could get behind. I don't know how they would do it. I think it's very unlikely. I think it would be crazy. But what if the Switch 2 itself had two screens? Therefore, this streaming option makes much more sense now because it can be replicated on the go. That's the mind-blowing thing that I want to leave you with, is that idea of streaming but doubled. Because I don't see how this streaming idea makes any sense if it's going to be removed for portable play, which is one of the biggest implications for the Switch, and it's in fact one of its best uses in the Eastern market where Nintendo is based. The portable version of the Switch Lite is most successful there, and people love their portable games over in Japan, just as they did with Nintendo's previous portable consoles. I can't see them completely cutting out that side of the market with this weird streaming play for certain games, and you imagine Nintendo would use it for their first party, which is, it just is an audience cutter, and I don't think you need anything like that. But if the Switch 2 had 2 screens, that's a pie in the sky idea that would be wild as all heck, but more than likely, I think the streaming thing is just not really gonna be either all that great or not gonna really be the big gimmick whatsoever. So let me know your take in the comments down below, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're all having a fantastic day out there. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive. Until next time, SwitchForce out.